Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 306 of Sold with Updike Pugh.
I'm Jeff Updike.
I'm Weston Pugh, and today we are going to tour a really great renovated home over in Northwest Dallas at 3610 Merrell Road.
And in our second segment today, we're going to talk about confidence in the Dallas real estate market.
A lot to talk about in that one.
There is.
There is. So Easter is rapidly approaching. This is a really interesting week. I feel like it's kind of a dead week for real estate because we are going to pause literally in real estate for 4 days, and then I feel like the doors are going to blow off.
I hope so.
You better be careful what you wish for,
That's
because
right.
we already have 4 going live next
We're
week.
ready.
So
We're ready.
it's ready. Last weekend, though, for me, was one of my favorite times of the year, and I'm kind of selfish about it. It is the Dallas Art Fair, and if you know me, you know that I like to go, and I like to go by myself because I really don't want people to talk to me, so I can take it in. And it's just my thing, Jeff.
I made the mistake of calling you while you were there. Do you remember that phone call?
No, you didn't.
I did.
You did?
I called, you answered the phone, and you were like, I'm at the art fair. I was like, okay, bye.
I did not remember that. I was very focused, Jeff. I had things to see. I had people to talk to, and I had pictures to take.
Yep.
So this is what caught my eye. So there are different galleries from across basically the globe that come in, and they come in for this week, last weekend. This is an artist that actually constructs all of this out of granite. Now, I couldn't talk to the gallerist to find out if they were actually one piece of granite that had actually been carved to create these links. I believe that it is because the weight on this requires them to add additional stainless steel posts to hold this in place, and I don't know that the glue that we use could actually support that much weight. So if we keep that in mind, the intricacy of having this enormous 8-foot charm bracelet carved out of a single piece of granite, that is a very impressive feat.
How big a cross is that?
It's probably 5 feet at the widest part and 8 at the longest.
Interesting.
It is enormous, and it's like this soft pink granite that I thought was really interesting. They had another one there. I didn't take a picture of it. This was the one that I thought really captured my attention. This is the next one that we're going to take a look at. Is from a gallery out of Mexico City. The actual, apologies, I don't have the artist's name, but the artist was an architect. There's also a very famous artist in Mexico City that inspired this. This is a combination of both objects and nature. It creates a tension. I really love that the art is in the more of a yellow ochre, which is kind of an indigenous color out of Mexico City. Overall, I thought this is a really well done piece.
It definitely has a cubism vibe to it.
100%. I also like the fact that everything is not on center, so it kind of creates this, like, is it going to turn over? Will it topple if I get too close? I think that's a lot of tension in the art that was really well done. The next one, I'll speed these up. Ceramics played a large portion within galleries. 5 years ago, there was probably 2 pieces. This year, I felt like if you didn't have ceramics in your gallery, that you were probably missing the beat. I thought this ceramicist did an exceptional job of using color and shape, but also this artist also created the pedestals that all of the art and vessels were placed on. So I thought it was really interesting. The gallerist was so nice. We got to talk about this. What was really exciting is that they've already sold several of the pieces to Dallas locals. So, a wonderful idea. This is from Sputnik Modern. This is in the Design District. Lots of mid-century modern historic collectible items are sold through this space in Dallas. This is an enormous, probably 3.5 to 4 feet tall, and equal that in height. It's a very famous ceramicist. There were probably 12 pieces here. I thought it was really interesting that the majority of their space was held by ceramic artists in this one.
Interesting.
Really great. This one I just thought was really fun. This is a prominent gallery that's in the downstairs. You can see there's a Warhol in the back. I believe that's probably why these two went together. This is just probably under 5 feet wide, 5 feet tall. But I think that when we look at this from a ceramic standpoint, for something that large to fire and not crack and come out, it is a win. The other thing too, those colors are really hard to glaze. They usually burn out.
Does that have a walk? You have to do like in a walk-in kiln?
That is, they're on rollers, and it rolls in, and then you roll the thing back out, and that's how it fires.
Wow.
Because it's enormous.
Yeah.
It's really big. Let's see what else we have. You can tell I was in a ceramics mode. This is actually metal, and this gallerist talked a lot about this. And I was like, whoo, he is really reaching to describe what this element was. But apparently this is a discussion on the interconnection of society and how I was like, what in the world are you talking about? Anyway, I thought it just looked really good. I was like, and the funny thing is I can see that I have the molds that I could recreate this. So well done on this one as well. I think I may have 2 more. I like this one. I thought this one was a really interesting play on the difference between almost like a fabric, but yet this was ceramics, and that the two kind of work together to create this netting, but that they had like kind of let it decompose or droop. I don't know. It just had, yeah, it was very well done. I thought the colors also worked for me on this one. Is this the last one? Yep. I love this one. This is the very first gallery I walked into, and this one made me smile because this is something that I would put in my house because this is glass, and I think that when we really start to think about like pressed glass and it having this amount of form, this replication, well done, attention to detail, spot on, 10 for 10. So that's what I did this weekend.
That was interesting.
I loved it. I had to take your car, and gosh, I parked and didn't think about it, and the highway, or the streets close at 4 o'clock, and I was afraid you were going to get towed. And the last thing I needed after what's been going on with my car is to have yours towed. So I went through.
Yeah, I would have come back. That would not have been good.
Let's just say I did a very compressed version of that. Otherwise, I would have had a lot more. But anyway, it was wonderful. So if you have questions or you want to compare pictures, I'd love to see what you thought was interesting at the Dallas Art Fair. I love it.
Let's talk about Market Watch.
Do it.
Wow. Kind of neutral. This is, I mean, reflective of just what you were talking about, that things are in this little bit of lull right now. You know, we've had a few people that brought their home on the market a week or so ago, and you know, we're kind of feeling this lull at the moment, but Good Friday is coming right here. Easter Sunday, Monday after, I think it's just going to go nuts again, though.
Yeah, this week is really odd because of how much, like we have Maundy Thursday, Good Friday, and then of course Easter, so it just really kind of tapers down the hair. It's not quite as tough as spring break, but it does. It's interesting because when I was talking to the people at the dealership, they said that it's busy weekend for them because people from small towns that feel like they're getting taken advantage of by smaller dealerships will come here. So it's kind of like the reverse. So it's not all encompassing, but it is in our market. We also did see that real estate rates also took a little bump up. I think this is going to be where we see them, 6.5, 6.7, 6.8. This is where we're going to be. If we're lucky, maybe we'll see by the end of the summer a 6.3, but it really just depends on what happens globally. Tell us more, Jeff.
So let's talk about 3610 Merrell Road.
Merrell Road. This is right off of Marsh. This is a really great location. This has become a go-to, I believe, is what I would say. The ability to have versatility here, whether it's an end user, whether it's an investor, whether it's a builder, there's a lot going on in this area. It is super simple to get easily around Dallas.
If I had thought about it, I would have taken that map and dropped little stars on all of the lots around it where all these $2 million homes are being built.
Gosh.
It's crazy.
It'd be yellow.
Yeah, it would be. It's super convenient location. This is kind of equidistant between I-35 and Northwest Highway, equidistant between I-35 and the tollway. So you are about as epicenter-esque as you can be if you need to really get anywhere.
And commuting. I mean, if you're going to downtown Dallas, this is super simple because you've got toll road. If the toll road is messed up, grab Harry Hines. The other thing, if you're like a traveler that needs to go via airport, you got DFW and you've got left field to get around.
And I can tell you how far DFW is from there.
How far is it, Jeff?
I make that drive.
It is 22.5 miles. It's easy. It's a good space.
It's a great location. There's so much to do in the neighborhood. One of the things I'm going to let you talk about this one.
Why would you let me talk about this one? Because I love pickleball and I play here. So this is just north of 635 at Spring Valley. This is probably 8 minutes from the house. This is a great place to go play. They have excellent coaching. They have really good paddles that you can try. As you can see, it's locally owned. They do really good clinics. I played in several tournaments here, and I'm on a league here. So check it out. It's good.
One of the really great restaurants in the neighborhood is Princi Italia. This is Preston Royal, and it is. I've been here 100 times. It is good every time I've been there.
Can I tell you a fun fact?
Sure.
They have the best margarita in Dallas. Shocking, and it's true.
I'm going to have to test that.
Go. It is shockingly good. And it's funny because I read the ingredient and I thought, you're making them just like they do in Mexico City. And I'll be dang, perfect.
Yeah, their tortellini, their everything is
Bolognese.
And bolognese is absolutely amazing here. Last of all,
so I picked this one because I thought, ooh, this will be something real fun. And what's the first thing Jeff says?
Oh, Adrian and I did this on one of our first dates.
Go big. Wow.
I had a Groupon.
The truth comes out. All right. So jump on Starlight Flight. They are very well known for their Christmas, but they're really great for just like Jeff and Adrian did. Take a really cool first date. What an impression.
Yeah.
And look, it's stuck. Should we say it's Starlight inspired?
Well, it was a lot of fun. It was a great way to see the city, because a lot of times when you're coming in commercial, you get to see the window out this little bitty. You can see the city out this little bitty window over here, and there's so much more to the city.
It is. It's really cool, and it's cool at night.
So let's talk about Merrell Road.
Woo-wee! 3610 Merrell Road.
Really a wonderful, wonderful house. Has had so many updates, so many renovations. Many of the houses in this neighborhood have screeded slabs like this one does, and if you want to know what those are, I'll tell you later on. They tend to be prone to needing more foundation work, and so one of the things that these owners have done is they have gone to the extreme to stabilize this foundation, and even now, a couple of years later, there's no sign of anything.
It's amazing. So this house was a full renovation, and it was done in the intent that they would stay here. So a lot of times when we talk about renovation, people get a little nervous that the design selects weren't very good or that it was done hastily. This is immaculately done, and we can talk about the smooth wall finish that they've done, the white oak that you see here, redoing the HVAC unit. How about brand new low E squared, low E argon-filled windows?
Argon-filled gas windows. And the colors that they picked for this are perfect for almost anybody that needs to move in. They have really taken a lot of detail and attention to, like, they had the wood for the new part of the floors that they had redone matched perfectly to what the original floors look like. When the HVAC system was done, they completely redid all the ductwork. They did all the vents, which most people don't do.
But it makes a huge difference. As you can see, there's a very cohesive look here. They've got nice built-ins with upper cabinets for display and lower cabinets for storage. And when we pivot, we can see how well the open floor plan works for both entertaining and versatility in the way that you set up your living room.
So they did this really nice quartz island here with waterfall on both ends of it, giving you some really good seating there. This does come out far enough. We find a lot of homes that don't quite come out far enough that you can scoot up to them. This was done beautifully.
They've also done an excellent job with their appliance packages. So in Dallas, everyone wants their appliances to match, and these are all KitchenAid. They've done the upgrade with actually having the microwave in the island here. And as you can see, we've got the burners there, glass. I almost call this a malachite green, which is excellent. Shades throughout that are on Lutron as well as the speakers. You can also direct Siri to raise and lower these blackout blinds that are throughout.
And I like that they were bold enough to go with the lighter countertops on the island, the darker countertops on the back.
I would agree. There are also brand new doors that they've replaced here.
These are all Marvin doors.
Absolutely. So they step out onto the patio. Now, this is great. Everyone at the open house loved the fact that they took and did not skimp on the materials in the secondary bathroom. So we've got Carrara marble on the bottom. We've got nice tile up on the walls as well that surrounds, just kind of creates a nice spa feel.
So this is a really great work from home house. You can see that's where one of the owners works. And then this is the master bedroom with those double windows. I'm sorry, the double doors into the closet. And then that set of doors going out, but you've got another set. And then you wrap around into the master bathroom.
So if you've ever wanted to have a spa-like bathroom at home, welcome to this. So they've renovated this completely. You've got showers on either side. There's a bench, again, how we talked about the flooring matches in the other one, the tile throughout, the sconce lighting. It is everything you need.
And this is what 0.44 of an acre looks like in Northwest Dallas.
Also known as 140 wide by 140 deep.
And they've done this really cool fiber on deck outdoors. It's kind of like the Ipe product in a way, but it's
Like a polycarbonate.
Yeah, more of a polycarbonate than Ipe's a real wood, but they wrapped around the deck.
So it's over 630 square feet. Step back and you've got a pergola as well. You can see that this is a really nice, kind of throws back with a mid-century modern shaped pool. Steps down from the shallow end, nice arc on the other end where the light fixture goes. Again, lots of great space.
11-foot board-on-board fence all the way around this backyard. As you can see, there's a roller gate that pulls you up to this garage. And the second owner also works from home, and so he works out in the garage. This is all fully insulated.
And as you can see here, we've done a really great job of giving you a 2D so you can kind of see how this flows and is very easy to live in. If you need a little extra space with this lot that's so big, you can make your own detached garage and grab that garage space.
So 3610 Merrell Road, a really cool 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage. Home's built in 1956. It's about 1,750 square feet, and it is listed at $899.
So what we've done is also created a link, and we'll put that in the comments. Click on that and you can see the rest of the photos. If you would like to see this, let us know and we'd be happy to make that happen.
And with that, we'll be right back. Did you know there are a lot of ways you can keep up with us? For starters, every Wednesday at noon, we host Sold with Updike Pugh, live from our Facebook and YouTube channels. Our show is dedicated to featuring some of the best homes in the Dallas market and about sharing timely information about market trends. But don't worry if you miss the show, because you can always listen to them on SoundCloud, iTunes, and Spotify.
Still want more? Follow us on Instagram, where you get a first-hand look at what it's like to be a realtor. It's not always previewing homes for clients or getting them ready to go live in MLS. Lastly, visit our website and you'll be able to create a custom home search tailored specifically to your wants and needs that's timely and accurate. Whether it's square foot, location, or the neighborhood, we have you covered.
If you'd like to know how much your home is worth, we can help with that too. Just visit homeprice.fyi, enter a few pieces of information like your home address, and we'll email you a price. When you're ready to talk real estate, you can reach us online, by phone, or by text at 214-377-2223.
And remember, we want to be realtors for life.
Hi everybody, welcome to the second segment, episode 306 of Sold with Updike Pugh. I'm Jeff Updike.
I'm Weston Pugh, and today we thought we would cover confidence in the 2025 real estate market.
I'm very confident this market's going to be very strong this year.
I am too. I think that the temporary, I would say the angst are temporary, the way that I kind of feel. I think that there will be corrections that will put the train back on the track or keep it on the track. Let's put it that way.
Interest rates, we've kind of talked about for the last year about how they can be coming down. I think we're going to see rates that still hover above 6%. We're seeing, like we talked about earlier, they're 6.7, I think is what we saw last week. But I think we'll hover between 6.3, 6.7 for the balance of the year.
And on a national level, I think that what we're looking at a lot is the trend for less volatility. I think that because of the way that the interest rates for probably the last 90 days, I'd say, that stabilization at that 6.5 and fluttering up and down just a little bit has made life so much easier for both buyers and sellers and kind of breeds confidence to move forward. So I'm happy for that.
And in the national market, you know, we're probably we're looking at a more normalized home appreciation. We're, you know, like on a national level, this year we're expecting 1.3 to 3.5%.
Versus the 1.3 to 3% a month when COVID was at its height, which was unsustainable. Well, do you want to go ahead and get that?
Sorry, no, it's fine.
So some of the local things that we see also, and you know, this is when us talking about Dallas and basically DFW, we're talking about a thriving economic right now. It's very resilient. It is extremely diverse, as we've talked in other shows. And as everybody knows, based on traffic patterns, there is no shortage of people moving here.
That is why our market's expected to be one of the top performing markets in the country this year.
It is a very interesting thing. I wish everyone could be, but I sure am glad we're here.
It's good because you know, I think in the market we're in right now, there are a lot of buyer opportunities out there. There's just not as much fever and not as much competition as we were dealing with in 2019 and 2020. So I feel like it's even a better time now for buyers to be able to buy the house they want. Many people that have kind of been stuck for a while, this is a great opportunity for them to do something.
Cooler heads are prevailing in this season, which is very nice. I think it's interesting that one of the elements that has probably shown itself in probably the last 10 to 6 months would be the fact that a lot of the sellers are helping buyers get into homes by participating in that 2-1 buy down. And I think that's a really good way for you know, even first-time home buyers to really step into it and start the home ownership process. So it's good to see that both sellers are working with buyers, because sometimes that gets flipped and it's just kind of like a free-for-all.
Yeah, especially if you're earlier in your career and maybe you can qualify for that higher monthly payment, but you just want to kind of ease into it. That 2-1 buy down is a really great idea.
It's, for some reason, a 2-1 buy down doesn't seem as evil as an interest-only arm.
No, not at all.
Those interest-only arms that were at 5, 6, 7, and 8, those were very dangerous.
So there is inventory is growing. We're seeing inventory that are back to the 2018, 2019 level, which is great. We're I feel like the clock is ticking. So, you know, buyers have an opportunity. There is a window now, but they need to do something.
I think that when we talk about inventory, we're talking more along the lines of like 4 months worth of inventory, which is wonderful, because that allows people to look at it. It allows the market to actually tell you what the value is, versus when we're in those super heated white hot markets where nothing is the right price and everything's going over. This feels a lot more manageable, and that people are getting a true value.
Well, I hope you found this helpful. If there's any other points that you have an interest in about the DFW real estate market and what we think is going to happen in 2025, reach out to us. We'd love to help.
And just remember, we want to be your realtors for life.
When you're ready to talk real estate, you can reach us online, by phone, or by text at 214-377-2223.
And remember, we want to be your realtors for life.